Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Now, so far this week, I've did my early season NFL predictions for the Panthers and the Colts. So we're going to do another one today. Today we're going to do the Atlanta Falcons, and I'll give you my thoughts and my predictions on what they're going to do here in the upcoming 2021 season. Of course, the NFL season kicks off on Sunday, September the 12th. So it is right around the corner. It starts 1 week after week one in college football. The reason why I say week one is because college football is now like high school football, where they have a week 0, which is coming up in a little bit more than 3 weeks. But on Sunday, when I did the Panthers, I had them picked to go 9-8. And as I look over the Falcons' schedule, I now have the Falcons going 9-8. And I hope I'm wrong on one of those two teams, because if they both go 9-8, and I have the Panthers beating the Falcons once, and the Falcons beating the Panthers once, and the reason why I did that is because to me they're two evenly matched teams, so I think they'll beat each other one time. But if that happens, since they're in the same division, if they both go 9-8 and they beat each other one time, there has to be another tiebreaker to determine which team makes the playoffs, if either team makes the playoffs, because, you know, the NFL season is now 17 games. It used to be 16 games. When it was 16 games, there was a lot of times that 9 and 7 teams made the playoffs. So it is a possibility now, depending on what else happens, that a 9-8 team could win a wild card. But I've got the Falcons opening the season by beating the Eagles, and I've got them beating the Giants and the Washington football team, because to me those are two pitiful football teams. I've got them beating the Jets, beating the Panthers, beating the Saints one time when they play them, beating the Patriots, beating the Jaguars, and beating the Lions. So that gives them 9 wins. But I will say the 49ers are beatable. And if the Saints play Taysom Hill too much, they may beat them both times. So the Falcons could get to 10 wins. If they get to 10 wins, I think it's safe to say they'll make the playoffs. But if they go 9-8, there's a chance, but it depends on what everybody else does. But, of course, the Falcons last year won 4 games. So if they get to 9 wins this year, that would be an incredible turnaround, especially if they make it to 10 wins. Of course, they drafted Kyle Pitts from the University of Florida. He'll be their starting tight end. That just goes to show how pitiful of a coach Dan Mullen is. Last year, Florida had a top 5 draft pick at tight end, and their quarterback could have easily been in the first round, and Florida still lost 4 games. But anyway, back to the Falcons. I think you're going to see the Falcons make a big turnaround this year. They've had a pretty good offense the last couple of years. They've just had a pitiful defense. But now with the new coaching staff coming in, I expect to see their defense make some improvement. And I heard a Falcons player on the radio the other day say that even though you get taught to, put what happened last week behind you, there were still a lot of Falcons players and a lot of Falcons media people and a lot of Falcons fans that still blame Dan Quinn for that Super Bowl loss a few years ago. And it was Dan Quinn's fault, but you have to, put it behind you. So I believe that so many people blamed Dan Quinn, and it was, for good reason, because it was his fault. But I believe with him being gone now, that you'll see the Falcons make a complete turnaround, because now everything that Dan Quinn did is behind them and it's done, and they're pretty much, starting over again. Now, as far as Matt Ryan goes, I've always thought Matt Ryan he's a good quarterback. I think he takes too much of the blame when the Falcons lose, and I think he gets too much of the credit when the Falcons win. I've never thought Matt Ryan is going to win you any games, but I've never thought Matt Ryan is going to lose you any games. Had the Falcons won that Super Bowl, it wouldn't have been because of Matt Ryan, but they didn't lose because of Matt Ryan. So I think as long as the defense holds up their end of the bargain, I do think the Falcons can easily get to 9 wins this year. So I'm excited to see if the Falcons can turn it around, because their defense these last couple of years has just been absolutely horrendous. And of course, Ridley is a really good wide receiver as well. So I know they're going to miss Julio Jones, but I think Ridley can step in and take his spot, because as good as Julio Jones was, he only played 8 or 9 games a year because he was always out with some kind of an injury. He would start a game and be out by halftime, or he wouldn't play the first half. He'd play the second half, or he'd play the first quarter and wouldn't play again. He was just always injured with some kind of injury. So as good as he was, I think that with him missing so much time, it was a good move to go ahead and get him gone before you wait a couple of more years, because a couple years down the road, if he keeps being injured all the time, nobody is going to want him. So I think, in my opinion, they did the right thing by going ahead and cutting him loose, and I think Ridley is more than ready and more than willing to step in and take his spot and become the Falcons' #1 wide receiver. So we'll have to sit back and wait and see what happens. But I've got the Falcons right now at 9-8 is my season prediction for the 2021 Atlanta Falcons. And before we get out of here for the day, let's go ahead and give our dad joke of the day. I just found out the company that produces yardsticks won't be making them any longer. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.